So I went back in my YouTube. I've had a troll the past couple days. You got to deal with trolls a certain way. So I told him to go back and watch some of my videos and do some research for himself. And he thinks new videos, everyone is going to be talking about some specific topic. So I went back and I was just looking through my old videos, and I got to noticing like all the videos I made about the Constitution, most of them about the police, and anything having to do with things like that are no longer there. So YouTube has been at shenanigans again. I don't know how long it's been like that. It could. Last time I scrolled through my sorry about that. The videos on my channel's been months. So I guess we got to start all over. And what more fitting day to start with the police forces and why they're unconstitutional than today? Tonight, just after midnight, will be a year that my son's been dead. He was shot and killed. So I'll start with that today. Why are the police forces bad? Even if there's an individual that is a great, quote unquote, great police officer, even if he's not out arresting people for firearms, policies, even if he stands by he knows the Constitution like the back of his hand, and he stands with it, he still holds an unconstitutional position. We're supposed to police ourselves. That's why we have sheriffs. In the late 1830s is when the first police forces came to be in this country. So we went over 60 years without police forces, doing it this way, self-governing. And we're supposed to be a self-governing society. If you read any of the journals from Benjamin Franklin or Thomas Jefferson, I think it even mentions it in the Federalist Papers, you will see that we were supposed to self-govern. Included in that is policing ourselves. Now, the reason for this is the first question you need to ask yourself is, and I've mentioned this before multiple times, how am I free if this group of people that has been placed here by government has complete authority over me when I'm supposed to have complete authority over government? You're not. You're as free as they allow you to be. People worry about Joe Biden and this, we all know that he's going to come in strong and start executive ordering firearms away, which is a whole nother, it's unconstitutional as hell, even if it wasn't about firearms. The president don't have the power to do that. Never has, but they've given themselves that power because we haven't stopped them from doing that. But anyway, back to policing. If a crime is committed, let's say somebody stole Freedom's car. It's my job to then gather the evidence and take it to the sheriff. The sheriff looks at it, investigates it. If there's enough evidence to make an arrest, he then fills out an affidavit for a warrant to arrest this person that stole my car. If he gets that warrant for that arrest, he then deputizes members of the militia to go arrest this person with him. Once that person's in custody, though, we no longer our deputization is negated. That's how we all remain equal. We're all free. The sheriff is never supposed to be a law enforcement person. He's supposed to be there in order to help us prosecute the criminals in our community. That's it. He ain't supposed to be out being a ninja, hiding in the trees with bushes and shit on his back, trying to catch people growing some pot plants or some stupid shit. Everything the police does today is supposed to be on the people. We are supposed to do that. That is our duty in order to be self-governed. What's happened is people have thought, oh, it's a great idea. We can pay these people to do this. It could be their full-time job. That way I can cook and clean and take care of my house and not have to worry about all this other stuff. The problem is you still have to worry about all the other stuff. Police, a very small fraction of actual crimes where somebody is hurt or somebody's property is stolen is stopped because of the police. Like, this so small of a fraction, it doesn't even matter. But what the police do, and this is why the police forces were implemented in this country, it's why the government took them on as their own, is because, when this country first started, all elected positions were voluntary. You didn't get paid for having those positions. If you're a congressman or a senator, or even the legislature in your own state, you didn't get paid for that. It was a voluntary position. How can I serve my community? You're actually serving them because it was voluntary. We've allowed them to vote themselves into salaries, which has now made career politicians. The career politicians create laws hold on. Before they had these salaries, like they lived right next door to me. They would go to Columbus and make laws or do whatever it is they did once or twice a year. They would come back and live next door to me. So they would face the repercussions for their actions. If they created an unconstitutional law, when they come back here, they had hell to pay. Like tar and feathering used to be a real thing. They'd come back and, by God, you did some bullshit against me, or you're going to face the repercussions for your actions. Well, those people then gave themselves salaries so they can move to Columbus and just stay there. They don't even have to come back to the community now. So when people started going to Columbus and acting out on them, and those people were facing the repercussions for their actions, they said, you know what, let's create laws to make this illegal. And let's have the police enforce these laws. So the police protect the politicians, while the politicians create laws making us less free that are also enforced by the police. If you cannot be even a supporter of the Constitution and support the police forces, they're just unconstitutional. You are not free when somebody has complete authority over, absolute authority over you, and the police do. At least they think they do today anyway. They think that badge is a free pass to do whatever they want. You see it all the time. All these thousands of cops you can go watch on YouTube doing bad shit, they're not the bad apples. That's the cops. The chances of coming across a cop that is actually a decent, moral human being that stands by the Constitution. Well, he can't stand by the Constitution at all if he's a cop, because his position's unconstitutional unless he's the sheriff in each county or parish. Or the constable, but we don't even have constables anymore. They've done away with that shit. We don't even need it anymore. So that's why the police forces are unconstitutional. We're supposed to police ourselves with the help of the sheriff and a few elected officials like the prosecutor and the judges. The reason for that is, like I just explained about the laws. Take my son for an example. Would my son have been armed if he did not fear the police? You can blame the people in Columbus all day long for creating the laws that saying that 20-year-olds can't carry a firearm. The fact is, my son feared the police. He feared going to jail. He feared me driving down the road and being caught with a firearm and then being taken to jail for doing nothing more than exercising his right. And don't say, well, most cops are pulling him over and just let him go. Bullshit. If that was the truth, people wouldn't be worried about it. People have the cop mentality. You know, Harriet Tubman said, I freed 1,000 slaves, and I would have freed 1,000 more if only they had known they were slaves. What she meant by that is she could have saved 1,000 more slaves. They thought that's the way it was supposed to be. They thought that that was how it is. You know, their ideal of what they thought freedom was actually slavery to the free. But they didn't know that because they had never been free. It's the same thing with the police forces. People believe that the police forces is just how it is. Well, they protect us from the killers. Really? Then why does people die every year? That was the truth. No one would die. What they do is how I just said, is they enforce unconstitutional laws, which creates victims because people cannot protect themselves. Take the shooting that happened in Dayton last year. I think there was 26 people shot. The police come, they kill this guy, and then the police are held as heroes. How many of those fucking people would have been armed and could have killed the dude before he killed anybody if those people didn't fear the police force because they're not allowed carrying a firearm into a bar in Ohio? They're not the heroes, they're the fucking villains. And until people recognize that, this country is going to keep spiraling downhill. The police force when I say police force, I mean everybody that, except for the sheriffs in each county or parish and the constables. Everybody else, the policing forces are unconstitutional. From the local cop all the way to the feds. There's nowhere in our founding documents that we gave government permission to create law enforcement agencies. It's not there. You know, I don't understand it now, but I seen it then. because I was once a lightweight supporter of the police forces. I thought they actually did things that were good. They don't do anything that's good. They don't do anything but do what they're told for a paycheck. The only reason they're not called redcoats is because the word police started being used in the early 1800s. Don't believe me? Go look. Go look it up. Go look up when it was first used in the English language in the late 1790s, and was started being used widely in the early 1800s in the English language. The police force. Before that, they were called standing armies. What is a standing army? A standing army is a force that is embedded in the communities that execute the rules of those in power. Go read Article 1, Section 8 and see what it says about standing armies. They're unconstitutional. Period. The men that founded this country said that standing armies are the greatest threat to liberty, or freedom and individual rights, They said that standing armies are the greatest threat to freedom and individual rights. And they are. Just like now, the governor created an order, the police are enforcing that order. You must stay in your home from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m., even though it makes no fucking sense whatsoever. The cops are still enforcing it. You know why? For the same reason the guy in Midas the other day tried to make me wear a mask. Money. He's enslaved to debt. He has to have that money to survive. So all these people that have this ideal that, the police are going to wake up one day and they're going to be on our side and yada 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 now. Not happening. Get the hell out of Wonderland, Alice. Mike Glover, I think it's Fieldcraft Survival. He has the contingency or some shit. I was just talking with somebody about this. I think that's how this actually got started, this troll that I now have attached to me like this whole my freaking pocket. Maybe not though. I don't remember, to be honest with you. But I did have a conversation about this. Mike Glover has the contingency. So Mike Glover's an ex-CIA agent, keep that in mind, who started this app, this program, this quote-unquote community, where you can give them all your information. If something happens, you can push a button and everybody will come running to save you. My first question is, why the fuck would you give an ex-CIA agent any of your information? My second question is, who are you going to be fighting that you got to hit this button? Who do you think that's going to be? Will they happen to have a badge on by chance? Will they come to take your shit? Because they're coming. Might not be today, might not be tomorrow, but they're coming. Bet your ass on that, because they're going to be told to come and do it. You ain't got to worry about Joe Biden what that prick does in Washington, D.C. Constitutionally, it has no effect on you. But because of acceptance through generations, it now affects you because people believe the president has the power to write executive orders banning the shit that was legal today. They believe that the president has the power to just do shit they don't do. I mean, look at Trump. His whole fucking campaign was ran on unconstitutional promises. There wasn't one thing he promised that wouldn't have been unconstitutional if he would have followed through with it. Or even look at welfare. 80% of all crime is committed by 20% of the population. And that's the way it is anything. Even if you own a business, 20% of the employees do 80% of the work. So that 20 and 80 kind of is involved in everything in life. So 20% of the population, the lowest 20% on the economic scale, about how much money they make a year, commits 80% of the crime. It's a good damn chance that those people, since we have this cushion called welfare in this country, are only alive today because of welfare. They won't even ensure their own survival, but we're nice enough to be stolen from by the federal government to take care of these people. So if we abolish the police forces, are you going to pay your taxes? Because I sure as fuck ain't paying shit to the federal government. Not if nobody's coming kicking at the damn door. Going to take my house and shit, which I don't pay anyway, but that's another video. But are you going to pay? So the welfare state fails. Those people die off in a year. Yeah, the first year will be chaotic. People will be starving, trying to break in and kill you for your apples and bananas, your wham whams and honey buns. But it's just something we have to go through. Do you think the Revolutionary War was freaking peaches and roses? Nope. It was tough. But when you're talking about things like that, people that don't know how to survive won't survive long. So you figure it'd be complete chaos in about a year. There'll be some stragglers after that, probably another year. You figure in 2.5, 3 years, whoever's left could live free, and you're productive. Everybody that would be left alive would be productive people. People that want to work, that want to ensure their own survival, ensure the survival of their kids and their family on their own. They don't want to steal from you. So we are stolen from by government to feed the ones that commit the crimes. They put the police into place to take care of these people. They feed you the bullshit that you need the police to take care of these people. I mean, it's just a big circle. It's a big clusterfuck and it's all about control. Because in the end, it's control. They want to ban ARs because of the people that walk into schools and shoot up schools and shit. That has nothing to do with you. So why make a law that affects you? Because you will comply to it. That's why. And eventually, after enough compliance, they have complete control over you. There's a handful of families or a handful of people that continue to get rich. Their lineage forever till the end of time is rich, while your lineage until the end of time are slaves. And that's what the police force is. My son would be alive today, and the guy that was with him would be alive today if he did not fear the police force. Oddly enough, when he was shot and the other boy was killed, when they were both killed, who the fuck got called? The police forces. They come running in like ninjas, I'm sure, guns out. But it was too late by then. The good kids were already shot and dead or dying. And the motherfucker that had evil intent is sitting in jail. But his parents can go see him. I can't see my kid. Fuck, there ain't a gravesite for me to go see him. Bitch ass mom. But guys, best advice I can give you in life: vet women. Same goes for women, I guess. That women don't have a kid with a piece of shit dude. Dudes don't have kids with piece of shit moms. But we have to change this. How do we change it? Resistance. Freedom isn't free. It costs blood and it costs lives. It's been the truth throughout history. Those that are willing to pay it, the sad part about it, is those that are willing to pay it will enjoy the least amount of it. Those who support the police and sit back until it's over with, like the Tories did in the Revolutionary War, they will enjoy freedom, and their families will enjoy freedom after that until some tyrant comes in and tries to do the same shit this government's doing. And the people that fought for that freedom, they're the only ones that give the blood and the lives. I don't know. Time to wake up, people. I know that. The police aren't your friends. They are the truest enemy of freedom and individual rights.